What's going on, guys? I'm Jose Torres,
I'm Jason Vilches.
and we got a good one for you today, you guys. Jason's been out there making a lot of music lately, so I had to pull him into the studio and just kind of like hear him out and see what's going on with that, man, because it's been crazy. So, so without further ado, let's BS. Jason, man, how are you?
Oh man, I'm doing really good. It's awesome to be here. I've been actually a fan of your show, so it's like, oh my goodness, I'm on the other end of it now.
Dude, that's like insane to hear, man. That's crazy, man. Yeah, dude, it's funny because I think I've been talking to you for like almost an hour before we started filming, before we started, recording, and I've been like super duper trying to avoid asking you questions because I'm like, I'm gonna be asking this guy questions for the next 20 minutes. So, like, dude, how is there? Like, how's the family? How's everything? I think last time I seen you was like, it's got to be like 4 years, dude, at least, right?
Oh man, it's crazy that it's been that long, but yeah, I guess it has been. Life has been busy, but other than that, I can't really complain. Just trying to stay out of the heat, living that married and father of a daughter life is always fun and entertaining, and it keeps you on your toes all the time. Can't really complain.
Man, I imagine, man. I don't have kids myself, man, but all the other things you were talking about, I understand, man. The heat, living in this Cali sun, dude, is no joke out here, man. But
Oh, it's bad. It's bad, especially because we don't have AC at my house. Like the AC in
No.
the main unit, anyways, is broken, and like so we've all had to like buy individual room units because I live here with my dad, my sister, and obviously my wife and daughter. So we have like individual units. That's the only way we survive this fucking heat. It's the worst.
Man, dude, and for those of you that live like in like other states, that aren't like California and stuff like that, like we have with central air, like without that, our lives are like miserable. Like if you don't have central air, you got to sit literally in front of the fan in order to get that heat to dissipate off your body, man. So.
Right, and
Dude,
even then it's
like
just
living in hell.
circulating hot air
Yeah,
in your face.
yeah. So, well, anyway, man. Shoot, dude. I've heard. I ain't gonna lie, man. I haven't gotten the album yet myself, man, because running around stuff like that. But I have heard a few of it on the IG. So that's why I had reached out to you, man. And some of it's pretty hardcore, man. Are you? Is that the direction that you guys are going, or like, is it? Are you? It seems like to me like you guys might switch it up later. I don't know why I had that feeling, but well,
I probably will be, yeah, because this is like basically my whole story for like doing all this music and stuff is that like I've been in bands for years, like at least 10 years. That some of them cover bands that wanted to do original stuff, some like just fully original stuff, but the story was always the same. We could never get enough consistency with like either members or leadership or anything, that just you would put in years of work and then the band would just break up and you have like nothing to show for it. And I got to a point where I was like, I'm sick of this. I want to actually like put music out there, and if I have to do it myself, god damn it, I'm gonna do it by myself. So that's why like these last year and a half I've released a crap ton of music. So I'm like, you know what, if nobody else is gonna do it, I have to do it myself, and you know what, I'll do it.
man,
This is finally
dude.
what I want.
Yeah, dude, and you have like an insane amount of music, man. Like, it's insane, dude. You actually just answered a few more of my questions, man. Because I was gonna ask you, like, how long you've been doing music for, man. Like, well, okay, so there's a two parts to this question, man. One is like, I know you say you've been in bands for over 10 years, but like, like I'm sure this isn't like your first solo venture in your whole life too. So, like, when exactly would you say like you got inspired to start doing the music, like?
Oh man. Well, music has been like a part of my life for as long as I can remember, maybe even like before that, because I come from a long family of musicians. My dad is a fantastic saxophone player, plays keyboard and sings and stuff. My aunt played in like the marching band. My grandpa played in the marching band, and like his grandpa would like throw parties and stuff and would play the piano and sing and stuff like that. It runs in our family. So it was just kind of inevitable that me and my sister would play music as well. I kind of kept the tradition alive. She kind of switched over to like photography and stuff, but we've all played music our entire lives. So this is just something that was just like, it's gonna happen. And I always say that like my biggest musical influence was my dad, because I watched him play in cover bands for basically as long as I was alive, for like the first 20, 25 years of my life, I saw him and I just looked up to him and I was like, I want to do that. I want to be in a band like that. That looks so fun. And I just always wanted to replicate that. So that's where like my musical journey kind of started.
Wow, man, that's insane, dude. Yeah, because myself, I was a first generation musician, I think. So I don't think
You're the trailblazer.
Yeah, man, I've never ever been able to see like a family member like perform on stage or even like karaoke at a bar, man. Like my family was just, yeah, they weren't into that singing stuff at all. Not even in the car, man. Like,
Yeah.
and I rock out in the car, man. So, man, that's crazy though, man. Like a whole family of band, man. Yeah, you guys should have just made a band together, man. It
Right?
probably would have been the best thing out there.
All we need is
But
a drummer, then we could do it.
oh yeah, man, dude, that's a really honestly like I didn't know that one. Yeah, I didn't expect that one, man. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Oh
Man.
yeah.
So my second part to that question, it's just like why now? You know, because I like I said, I've known you for a while now, and when I met you, I know that you played the guitar. I think I had seen you on IG do it before, but like
Yeah.
just like out of nowhere, like I seen like your first little album come out, and I was just like, oh, okay, a little album, you know. And then also I saw another album come out. I was like, oh, dude, this fool is he's not kidding. He's not playing, you know. So, and then to the point to where, and one thing that I really enjoyed about watching that unfold was just, you know, that's like the mark of like a true artist, man. There's a lot of people out there that can like have like a lot of money, be born into like rich families, and then make like one or two albums, and then just like promote the hell out of it, you know.
Yeah.
And then there's like another type of artist where like there's always new shit coming out, and it's always good, and it's always in your face, to where you just have to accept like, oh, this man is an artist, you know. And to me, man, that's just like so much, like it just means so much more to like what we do, you know, or what musicians do, you know, or artists do in general. Like it's really cool to see you just come out with that influx, man. So like what inspired you to do it now, like out of nowhere? Just what sparked that flame, man?
Well, it's a couple of things. I'd say it's two main things. Was for a long time I was in a band for 6 years actually, and we got so close. Like we had like a 6-song set list ready to go. We were ready to go out and do shows and stuff, and then I got kicked out of the band. So I'm like, I have 6 years of all this work, and it was all original music that me or my dad or like my friend Joe, we all wrote together, and we had this amazing work that we put in, and to just like in an instant have it all be gone, it was like, well, fuck, I put all this work in, we all did put this work, I want to have something to show for this. And then the second was the pandemic, obviously, where like just everything happening going on, this, you know, I'm sure you remember the dread when it was first, like everything was going on, and like they started shutting things down, it was starting to get really serious, and we're like, well, I don't know, like we don't know if tomorrow's guaranteed anymore. I might as well just go for it, you know, because like what's the point of just like saying, well, I could have tried this, if you're not gonna at least, you know, you should at least go for it. And that was kind of my mindset. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So when that first stimulus check came in, I bought myself some like recording equipment. I'm like, I'm gonna learn how to do this, and I'm gonna figure it out, and you know, I'm gonna finally do it, because I wanted this for a long time, and you know, I'm very glad that I did it. I'm gonna keep that momentum moving forward, you know.
Dude, that is awesome, man. Dude, the pandemic in the beginning was, I don't look. If there's an audience member listening to this like 20 years in the future, and you're just like reading a book about the pandemic or something, like the pandemic was raw. Like when it first started, like the world was afraid that we were all gonna die, type thing. And I'm not the type of guy, man, that really gets scared of stuff like that. Like, I don't know why, I just kind of like believe in my head, like I'll live forever, you know. But but I remember, dude, there was a few nights where you like, if I coughed or sneezed, like I really kind of like got a little scared. Like it was really intimidating. It was like, oh man, like what if I die? Like what if I remember thinking in my head, because I'm one of those guys that believes like, you know, we all have that path, like before we even are born, like we already know the path we're gonna take and stuff. And I was just like thinking in my head, I was like, damn, is this really the end of my story? Like am I gonna die from a pandemic? Like that's, I guess that's kind of cool, you know. But
Yeah, it just
uh,
really put things in perspective for a lot of people, for a lot of different things too. It changed a lot of things. It
it did.
like made you restructure your way you think.
Man, it was revolutionary for the world, man. I think we had to rethink the way we do a lot of things and operate. Like here at like letsBS and just in iMobb in general, like we actually like completely shut down. Like we had this is probably like the first time of me working with somebody else.
Yeah.
And yeah, since the pandemic started, which is insane, man. Like because and obviously we're still not like together, but like it's just like a weird thing how it just had very different effects for everybody.
Yeah.
Like some people were just super inspired to do crazy things, and other people like shut down and just stopped doing anything. And
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
man. And the stimulus has definitely, I think, helped a lot of people.
Oh
But
yeah. Helped
I
me a
hope,
lot.
man, dude, they invested in something good right there. But that's cool, man. Like yeah, dude. Honestly, it's crazy. That didn't even cross my mind that would happen. So that's really
Oh
cool,
yeah.
man. What happened to all that music though that you were talking about? Like you were saying, like what did you do with it? You just
Oh,
did you
that
guys
was
ever
actually
record it or?
nah. We had done one recording of it, but we really didn't like how it came out. So like
Okay.
we're like, whatever. But what had happened was that like when I got kicked out of the band, the singer had said like, as a consolation prize, because we've been musical partners for like 6 years at this point. It's like you can have the songs, you just have to change like the lyrics or whatever. It's like, so that's basically what I did. My first album that I ever came out with is all the songs that I wrote or that I wrote with my friends. They're all credited, obviously, but that are on. That first album is all stuff that we wrote during that time period, and I feel like a lot of that. It was just like me saying to the world, like, "Hey, this is what I've been up to for the last 6 years, just so you know what I've been doing," kind of thing. Just like a little snapshot, which is kind
In
of
case
why I
you were
don't really,
wondering.
yeah, I don't really like promote that one as much because I'm like, okay, now that I got that out of the way, let me show you what I can do on my own, kind of thing, which is what I've been doing recently. But it's still just kind of like just to show everybody, like, this is what we had at the time, like this is what I have to show for, 2012 to 2019 kind of thing.
Man, yeah, dude, it's all good from what I hear, man. So, yeah,
I
I'm really glad to
appreciate
hear
that.
that. Yeah, I'm glad that fire got sparked within you, man. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I
dude.
like to keep
But
busy.
man, so tell me, like, what's the first album called exactly? And then we already kind of know what that one's about. And then how many have you put out so far? Just like in solo days.
Okay, so in solo days, which all started like mid 2020, first thing I did was just a single. I had just gotten my recording equipment, and I just kind of came up with something on the fly just to like test everything out. And I actually liked this how it sounded and everything, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna release this as a song. I'm gonna call it a demo because obviously I still don't know what I'm doing, but I want to have something out there to show the world, hey, I'm a solo artist. So that was my first single, was my song "Helpless." Came out in 2020. Then after that, once I had the confidence to be like, well, now I have this song out, I can release all those songs that I had before, but I'm going to go back in and change the parts a little bit or change the keys so that I can sing them, kind of thing. And that was the album I was just mentioning, which was Forsaken. Then after that, I was like, okay, I'm going to do original music now, and I wanted to like up my game a little bit, and that's my most recent release, which is Desolate. After that was my two cover albums, one of them being Batman songs and one of them being Godzilla songs. And then a couple of months ago, I decided, you know what? I think it would be really cool if I just take my original album, Desolate, and do like an instrumental version of it. Because that would be really cool, because you can like, I don't know, I just been on a social media.
Make your
Yeah,
own type of song type of thing. Yeah.
exactly. I've been on a social media kick, and thought that would be a great like idea for like an Instagram or TikTok video. It's like, hey, here's an instrumental. Do it better than I could.
Man, dude, that's insane, dude. So, what's next? Like, what's coming up next? Do you have plans like? Because I know you say you're not going to slow your momentum, man, but that's a huge name for you to live up to right now. So, like, are you planning on like what are we looking at for the next like 2 years? Like,
Oh yeah, I got big stuff planned. So kind of going back to a question you asked a little bit earlier about like the sound and whatnot. You definitely picked up on the fact that I like to experiment with the sound, because if you go back and listen to it, it's heavy. I do definitely write heavy metal, but some of the songs aren't that heavy. Like some of them are a little bit more rock and roll kind of based. So I
Mm-hmm.
do kind of like to meld with genres just a little bit. But my next two releases are going to be completely different things. I'm actually working on an electronic album right now that I just like. It's fun side story. I'm doing I co-host a podcast called Mediadrome where we talk about movies and stuff. And for a long time, we were using somebody else's music and stuff. And we figured, like, at some point, we're gonna have to have an original theme song at some point. So I was tasked with writing the theme song, and our main host, wanted, like Richard. He wanted something a little bit more electronic, something like Carpenter Brute style. I'm like, well, shit, I don't listen to that stuff, but I can totally come up with something. And we ended up going back and forth, back and forth. I think I wrote like 4 or 5 different things before we finally landed on something. We're like, yeah, this is the theme song right here. So now that I have all of these songs, well, like, well, I don't want these to just sit here on my hard drive doing nothing. I'm going to tweak these and I'm going to come up with them. So that's going to be, I don't know, some point, maybe within the end of the year, that'll probably be out. Then after that, I already have another project lined up. My buddy Denny came to me. He had an idea for an EP that he needed help writing. So he's like, I want something that's like 80s goth style, something like Sushi and the Banshee, Sisters of Mercy, that kind of style thing. So we've been working on that for like, oh, I think a year. We got like 6 songs, and he's like, well, I think we're gonna make 8. So that's gonna be coming down the pipeline as well too.
Man, dude, electronic. I don't think anyone's gonna see that one coming unless they hear this podcast, man. So, man, dude, that's a super league right there, man. That's insane, dude. But
Oh yeah.
I can't wait for it, dude. I've heard you play acoustic before, and I'm just like, that's something that like I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the Jason Vilches acoustic album, man. So,
Oh hell yeah! I got the acoustic project. We have Teacher's Pet. It's my other acoustic band. We're definitely want to do something at some point. Now that I got the recording equipment, so that you reminded me. I should follow up on that.
yeah, man, I heard you showing off your skills earlier in the lobby. So, but I think that's gonna be all the time we got, man. So, it's fantastic hearing from you, man. Great,
Yeah,
I'm so happy to
appreciate
hear
you.
that everything's going your way, man. So.
Yeah. I appreciate you having me on. This is awesome. Thanks for letting me talk about my music and stuff.
Oh yeah, of course, dude. That's pretty much what we live for over here, man. letsBS. So at Jason Vilches Music, you guys, if you guys want to check him out, we'll have all the links to his stuff down below. And just thanks for listening, guys.